Well, Republicans have a nominee for governor, and many prominent Republicans, they are lining up to give their support to Rick Jackson. That group includes Georgia's current governor, who actually backed Rick Jackson's opponent in this runoff race. My co-anchor of Sunday Mornings, The Georgia Vote, Zach Merchant, joining us, taking a look at all of these endorsements. There's also some new developments in the race for governor, Zach.
Never a slow day in Georgia politics, certainly not this week when we had the election, and now moving on to the general election. That's where all eyes are turning. Of course, Governor Brian Kemp, he endorsed Lieutenant Governor Burt Jones back in that Republican primary runoff only days before runoff election day. The two appeared at a Buckhead barbershop Monday morning. With the governor's late support, it was not enough to lift Jones to a victory. Instead, it was healthcare executive Rick Jackson who won the nomination. And this week, Jackson's campaign released this statement of support from Governor Kemp, saying in part, quote, "Marty, the girls and I are proud to support Rick Jackson to be Georgia's next governor. We know Rick will fight for every Georgian to have a fair shot at the American dream because he has lived it himself," end quote. The Jackson campaign also released statements of support from former governors Nathan Deal and Sonny Perdue. The gubernatorial runoff, it was one of a pair of defeats for candidates who had the backing of Georgia's popular Republican governor, Brian Kemp. Here's part of Burt Jones's concession speech from election night.
Look, I've always been one of those that I've never let politics define me as a person, and I've always believed that the sun will come up tomorrow, and you can rest assured of that, and that there is a life after politics.
And in the Republican U.S. Senate race, Governor Kemp endorsed Derek Dooley, and he endorsed him from the very beginning of his campaign and worked to support his candidacy. But Dooley, too, lost on election night, this time to U.S. Representative Mike Collins. Here is part of Dooley's concession speech.
I can't tell you the honor it's been, and I just want you to think about, what they did. They stuck their neck out for a guy who's never been in politics back in August, and then went out and we went 90 stops on the road together, 90.
Despite the defeats to his chosen candidates, Kemp posted to social media after Election Day saying he would be supporting the Republican ticket and called for party unity headed into November, where those Republican nominees will face Senator John Ossoff and Keisha Lance Bottoms, the two Democrats, in the general election.